whatever Mecca is for the Muslims, and whatever Jerusalem is for Christians. This is what Vrindavan is for Hindus. Because whoever believes in spirituality, whoever believes that there is something out there that is much bigger than our bank accounts, our bosses, and whatever we are seeing, wants to go onto a journey that I went on. You just probably believe that God is some kind of an energy, that a force field out there, and you will never want maybe to believe that God was really on earth. And the legend says that he played and was mischievous as a child here in Vrindavan and danced with his biggest love, Radha. So you will hear Radha at every corner. Radha, Radha, Hari, Hari. And also you probably just believe that God invented everything and never visited Earth. And here they say God was here. It was paradise. It was long, long time ago. He really resided here and the cows were roaming. People were singing, chanting and dancing. And that's what they still do there. If you want to dance and have the best food of your life, you have to get there. I met a man one day, and on his bookshelf was the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita was the biggest knowledge I have ever opened in my life. And on the day I left this man, I read the last chapter, and when I met him, the first chapter. And in between, we sometimes opened up a chapter and recited around the Bhagavad Gita and all its lessons. And it showed me that religion or being spiritual has nothing to do with what I want from God, but how I could show God my love in affection, in offering, and not coming to the temple like I think a lot of people do to get a benefit out of God or wanting something because they are so desperate. Could you stand there and cook for God? Could you dance for God? Could you just open up and just relax, because I do believe God has everything in his hands. Now just turn it the other way around, just for fun. If God was watching your life and he was looking at you, what would be the proof of your happiness, of you being really happy about his creation? Wouldn't it be dance, and wouldn't it be cooking, and wouldn't it be just, happy with whatever is presented in front of you? So you could show your joy. Or do you come to the temple with all your complaints? That the music's not right, that your life is not right, and that your future dreams haven't come true yet? Because it says in the Bhagavad Gita, the one whose happiness is within, that's the one who's liberated, and can also be good for all the other animals and other species on Earth, and the other human beings. I mean, who knows what happens to us after we really leave this place? But if we haven't done any research or any knowledge towards ourselves and haven't opened up any book towards this kind of knowledge, what will be the case if there is something when we really leave this place? And there is reincarnation, and you might have to know God's name, and I don't think he's called God. I mean, who knows how he is called, but the Hare Krishna, the sound of Hare Krishna, I've done it for hours in a car ride. I was driving, I think 8 hours, and I did it constantly, and it didn't go on my nerves. So it has a very high vibration, and maybe it's good to know his name once the paradise doors open. Because if you would enter a room and no one would ask you for your name, how would you feel? That's the first thing you want, that everyone else knows you. But out of 1,000 people who are even watching these videos, only one might seek for the knowledge or perfection in their own life. And not only that, that one person of those thousands will really maybe become so enlightened with the truth. Because your mind can, as we all know, be your worst enemy or your best friend. And it can be the source of your liberation. but only if you are interested. I learned so much here in Vrindavan and in the Bhagavad Gita of that this place that we are living right now is full of decisions. You're doing it every single day, and this is the only planet where you can still decide if it goes upwards or downwards. We are on a decision planet, and we are far, far away from paradise, as we can all know, because your neighbor's brain isn't as peaceful as your own, and your own mind is not even the whole time from birth till death in a peaceful state. So it's my responsibility to show whoever created me in all of our best interest, and in the short time that I'm here on earth, that I stop going for the illusions of objects, whatever they call Maya, everything is an illusion, and really go for the real love in life. Everything else will bind you here, but you're searching for liberation. You want to walk freely, you want to walk happily, even work happily. But the liberation lies in source, in knowledge, in truth. And to have this kind of place on earth, even though it's not a sightseeing place, it's a place that you visit with your third eye. The Bhagavad Gita, that states, the book is the Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's a long book, as I said, took me 5 years to read, but it states that I'm never alone. In the moment, also Katie Byron taught me that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not thoughts. Thoughts are like raindrops, you don't argue with them, you don't discuss things with raindrops, they just are. And the same with your thoughts, only that I never feel alone, even if I am alone and in hermit mode, doesn't matter where I am in the world. I always feel like a gold nugget that belongs to a bigger chunk, like your gold watches at home. They belong to a bigger chunk of gold that was once found in a mountain and was once all together in one gold barrel. And I find it's the same with us. We come and we leave, and we don't know why we're here, but we're experiencing something together, and then we leave again, and we don't even know to where, and we don't know if we even existed before we came here. But what I know is that we are here for a purpose, and the purpose is that someone put me here. I didn't put myself here, and so I never feel alone. And the biggest gift the Bhagavad Gita ever gave me was the sentence that God does sometimes arrange things to be unfortunate even, so that you make quite a quick progress in your spiritual life. Because you suddenly make decisions that you wouldn't have even dreamed of, you wouldn't even have to do, because life was just rolling around. And having like complicated parents or a complicated partner or complicated job or whatever just means that God is in your favor, because He's making you decide things that you wouldn't normally decide about. Before I came here, a cow was for me, for a German, just something that is behind fences, is too foreign to even to think about, as if it were a pet, or it was just like a meat thing that was somewhere on a field but behind a fence and not going on anyone's nerves, and killed at one point. And I think the same with chicken and with whatnot. And Vrindavan opened up a love for cows that I cannot even describe, and the holiness of a cow, and how it gives milk, and how it gave me milk. I wasn't able to breastfeed with my mom, so there is no animal on earth that can make you survive as a baby than either a sheep or a cow. And that's why it's so holy also in India, to not even be touched, at least in this pilgrimage place. That is I think around 50 kilometers around Vrindavan, there is no meat to be found, because where does your peace start? Doesn't it start on your plate that no one was harmed, no blood was being shed? And to eat something that has a nervous system and a blood system is just, for me, not even appealing anymore. And Vrindavan also, and the Bhagavad Gita stated that you have enough fruits in every dimension of pleasure for your tasting buds. I didn't want to make this video turn out like a food video, but those are the places, and you have to eat every single day, where it is important to start, I think, thinking about your own little temple that you have gotten, that is waiting for the best food, the brightest food, food that was in the sun, like olives and tomatoes and grapes, waiting to be the light of your own soul. And I don't get why people eat the wings of chicken or the backs of cows, start their day or end their day like that, and then expect peace to enter their lives. So life in general, all in all, is a big mystery. But there are certain little things we can change and certain little things we can run towards if we want a spiritual life. And discipline gave me a grounding and an earthing. I'm a Pisces, so that means I'm a water sign. But every discipline that I've ever done in my life has given me really the anchor that I need to really arrive here on earth. And also to have like little things that make sense to me. Who knows if they are right or wrong, and we don't have to prove anything to each other. They only have to make sense to you, and they have to brighten up your life. And for me, knowing that there is a source, just in my case, just in my life, it's just a nicer way of living, as to think that there's nothing and then everything just was an accident. And we just all showed up here. For me, it's the same sense like there is an author, writes a book, and gives it to you, the knowledge. And it's not like a book just shows up in front of your door and that letters were just blown in the wind, and after, I don't know, maybe 500,000 years, they end up in front of your doorstep as a book. Doesn't make sense to me. So whatever makes sense to you, food-wise, God-wise, spiritually, that is what you're going to give your children. So I think, just sometimes, you should just sit down, relax, and just watch what this miracle is all about.